Member Gonzalez,
Gonzalez, aye.
Member Northey,
Here.
Member Stewart, Secretary Amoroso,
Here.
Chair Carter,
Here.
Alternate Neher,
Here.
and Alternate Warnicki.
Present.
First item on the agenda is the review and approval of the minutes. So we have two separate sets of minutes to approve tonight. The minutes from the June 18th, 2025 regular hearing, and then we also had a special hearing on June the 23rd, 2025. Do any members of the board have any changes or alterations to the minutes? If not, a motion to approve.
I motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, hearing none, motion passes. Moving on to presentations, awards, and reports. Don't think we have any for the agenda this evening. Public forum, do we have anyone from the public who'd like to speak this evening? We do not. Nothing for old business. Moving on to new business. Resolution number 2025-69, granting a minor conditional use to permit a tattoo shop at 1701 Doyle Road. I believe we have,
Just checking, is it going to come on? Is my presentation going to come on?
While we're working on that, I'll read the resolution into the record by title.
Good.
So this is a resolution of the Planning and Zoning Board of the City of Deltona, Florida, granting a conditional use to permit a tattoo shop within the C1 Retail Commercial District for a property located at 1701 Doyle Road within the City of Deltona, providing for conditions, recording, conflicts, severability, and an effective date.
thank you so much. You
Good
may-
evening, I'm Matthew West. I'm not doing a countdown, I'm doing a count up of 4 months I've been here, okay? And I'm loving every minute of it. I'm here to present this application for a minor conditional use for a tattoo shop at 1701 Doyle Road. Just so you know, this is a minor conditional use, and this only goes to the Planning and Zoning Board. It will not continue to the City Commission. You are the board of final decision. I mentioned that property is located at 1701 Doyle Road. The lot is about 15,000 square feet. It has a C1 zoning, which is retail commercial. It has a future land use of commercial. And the building that is on there is about 3,200 square feet, and it was built in 1982, according to the property appraiser's records. There are 4 suites, so there's 800 square feet per suite. And this particular application is addressing Suite A, which is on the western end of this small commercial strip center. There are 11 criteria to evaluate when you're considering a conditional use. Here's the first 5. These are the additional 6 others that are considered. Staff in its report has gone through the detail of these issues for matters for consideration, and I want to show you a couple of maps here to orient you where this property is. It's on the south side of Doyle Road, a little bit west of Saxon Boulevard. Right now, as I said, it has a 3,200 square foot building with 17 parking spaces on the property. To the north is a convenience store and gas station. To the left or west is a karate school, and I believe there's another small office building there as well. And as you can see from this aerial, to the right or to the east, there's a vacant lot. I believe that it's vacant, yes. There's the zoning of the property. You can see on both sides of Doyle Road, it's Zone C1 with a commercial future land use designation. This is a copy of a survey of the property. You can see where the building sits on the property with the parking out front. Here's a photo of the site with a lovely City of Deltona Explorer here. To the right of, in this photo, to the right of the Explorer, that's the suite that the conditional use is for this tattoo parlor. That's a close-up of it. You can see it used to be a barber shop. There's a barber pole hanging on the wall there next to the window. This is the ground sign. My understanding, I talked to the property owner who owns the shopping center, and the empty little slot there would be where the advertisement for the tattoo shop would be located. Based on decision-making criteria, staff recommends the Planning and Zoning Board approve Resolution 25-69, granting a minor conditional use for the tattoo shop to be located at 1701 Doyle Road for Suite A with the following conditions. A tattoo shop must obtain all permits and licenses and legally open for business within 12 months of the adoption of this resolution, or the minor conditional use will expire. No neon signs that are visible from the exterior shall be permitted for the building area occupied by the tattoo shop, and operating hours for the tattoo shop shall be between the hours of 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. daily. At this point, as I pointed out, you are the board of final decision on this. I believe the owner of the tattoo shop business is here. Is the property owner here? He said he would be here. Maybe he's just running late. At that point, I'm open to questions.
Great, thank you so much. We'll start with questions. Member Gonzalez, do you have any questions for staff?
Yeah, just a quick explanation on the, when you talk about neon signs visible from the exterior, could you go into a little more detail? Is that from the front of the building, or?
Yeah, and essentially I thought is in the windows, you don't, even if you put it inside, it's projecting the light outside. The idea is not to have a bunch of neon signs on the front of the building or shining out onto the front of the building.
Okay, is this just for this business, or?
I'm glad you asked that.
Because driving down at night, that's all you see in the windows of these retail and commercials.
I'm glad you asked that. Our business tax receipt records show that in the city of Deltona, we only have 2 other tattoo shops in the city. And one of them had a conditional use approval several years ago on Deltona Boulevard. And the conditions you see here are the same conditions that were applied to that tattoo shop on Deltona Boulevard, which was in a similar situation, was in a strip center, and it was approved with these conditions.
Mike, basically, I guess the question is what led up to the limiting of the signs for this particular business as opposed to the ones you see on all the other businesses going down the streets?
I think the idea was to not draw attention to the site that as much. Part of the consideration back when this was considered, this type of use was considered on Deltona Boulevard, there was discussion in the staff report back then, which I didn't write, but I obviously read, that, tattoo parlors can run late night operations just like bars and restaurants and things like that. And to make it more compatible with the residential that's behind there, the staff then felt it was appropriate to implement this restriction.
It still doesn't make any sense. If we're talking facing the front towards Doyle Road, how's that affected the residents behind them? And you're limiting the hours till 10 p.m. So I'm perplexed as to why particular are we doing neon signs or signage for a tattoo parlor as opposed to what we see driving down the street, the neon signs in a gas station or a convenience store or the Walmart or whatever that have signs glaring out at us, the restaurants, fast food places.
And through the chair, if I may, I believe staff has followed past practice
So that's,
as it comes to this, and it is up to the board if you would like to remove that condition. I will also say, because this is a conditional use, it is appropriate for the board to specify additional restrictions that may not otherwise apply, such as hours or signage, because it is a use granted by condition.
got you. All right, thank you. And I'll just table that question until the owner and operators come up, and I'll ask them the same question, how they feel about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Northey, do you have questions for staff?
I do. What is the handicapped accessibility of that site?
It's got on the,
I know it was built in 1982, and then was built under county regulations, but when did the handicapped accessibility come into effect, and how has it affected this site here?
well, of course, the ADA
I
requirement.
can't hear you.
The ADA requirements came into effect, I believe, in 1991.
Okay.
I believe. And you can see in this photo, it's on the right-hand side, that the handicapped parking space is located there, and there's a ramp.
There is a ramp?
Yes. You can see the ramp right there.
Okay.
You know, and so there is a ramp there. Apparently, they moved it. It used to be closer to the street, and they moved it closer to the building, which makes more sense than having anybody having to cross the driving aisle.
Yeah, that, I should have gone by and looked at that, because that ramp looks like it's a step up. It's not a step up, it meets the,
It's sloping down to the
Okay.
right.
yeah, I know, I should have gone by and looked at it.
Well, maybe does that help right there? You can kind of see it sloping down
Okay.
to the right.
Okay. Thank you.
Secretary Amoroso,
I have no questions.
alternate Warnicki.
I just have a couple of questions, just considering, so there's 4 units. You said there's 17 parking space, which means there's about 4.25 parking space per business. Is that how that?
And the city's parking code for a shopping center is 4 spaces per 1,000.
So it does, it's over the
Yeah.
meeting. And then it's 4 units, and right now there's a vape shop there, a pizza place, which is pretty good pizza, and the possible tattoo place. Is there something in the 4th place?
Yes, there is, and I believe it's like one of those places where you can order gifts custom made, like, what's that? Yeah, let's see. Oop. Right now, it's appears to be a market, and I believe you can also buy things there as promotional items. So it's a retail store.
Okay, so most of the businesses, it's in and out, so there shouldn't be any issues with the parking, and it's over the correct. Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Alternate Nair?
I don't have any questions.
I don't either. Thank you so much. I do believe that the applicant is here, if they'd like to come up and state.
Madam Chair, before the applicant does come up, I did speak to the applicant, and they request opening hours to be changed from 10 a.m. to 9 a.m. if that's at the
To
board.
9 p.m.?
No, starting
10
at
a.m.?
9 a.m. instead of 10 a.m.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m.?
From 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., correct.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
if the applicant would like to come up, if you could please state your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Brianna Pearson, and my home address or the Doyle Road?
Normally, it's your home address.
131 Matanzas Road, DeBerry, Florida.
Wonderful.
And I have been a tattoo shop owner for about 5 years now. I opened up my first location in St. Mary's, Georgia. I cater to upscale, usually women. A lot of the people I see are women who are looking to have their voices heard and to have a place where they can feel like they have community. Community is really huge in my businesses. So usually whenever I start, I like to do as much outreach as I can, because I think especially in today's day and age with the rise of technology, we're further away from community than we've ever been. And I like to be able to use my platform to be able to bring that back in and really foster togetherness, because I think that's what we need more than ever. So when people come in to get tattoos, they're usually looking to heal from something or to bond or have that experience. So I invite everyone. It's a safe space for anybody who wants to come in and have their story told or heal from something, or, just connect. So that is what I look forward to doing here in Deltona. My clientele base come from all over the United States. That's the positive thing about social media is I'm bringing in business from all over, people who are flying in, driving in, maybe hours. And so it's new business to the area too. So it's something I look forward to bringing.
Thank you so much for
Thank
that.
you. I
If
appreciate
you
it.
don't mind, I think maybe some of the board members might have some questions. So
course.
we'll start with Member Gonzalez.
Well, you heard the conversation, so how do you guys feel about, well, the criteria is particular, but that one, as far as the signage goes, are you happy, are you good with it, or?
As far as the signage goes, I'm pretty easygoing. The last location I had was in a historic downtown district, so they were
Oh, okay, yeah.
they were very strict.
You
I
had a
couldn't
hysterical
even-
society to deal with.
I couldn't even advertise the word tattoo.
Yeah, okay.
Didn't say it.
If you're happy with it, then I won't pursue the
I
issue.
am okay with it. The only thing is I usually operate, I mean, sometimes it goes a little bit into 7 or 8 p.m., but I'm usually up early, and I like to be out early. So if I am able to have that 9 a.m. so I can start business a little bit earlier, get in and get out, that would be awesome. If not, I can definitely work within the hours as well.
Thank you. Member Northey?
Would you be willing to close up at 9
That's no problem to me.
and go 9 to 9
Yeah,
instead
that's
of
no
9 to
problem
10?
to me. Yeah.
And do you own the location? I don't, you lease this site, right?
Lease,
You're
yeah.
leasing it, okay. And just, you're completely accurate about why people have tattoos.
Yeah.
Final words my husband said to me before he went into hospice was "Love you more." I had that tattooed on a ribbon on my arm, and every time I look at it, so you are right. Tattoos do that for people. So if you are willing to close up at 9, I would be
Yeah,
completely fine.
that's no
If the rest of the board would support that.
Any other questions? Member Northey, are you done?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's all right. Secretary Amoroso?
I've never gotten a tattoo for a good reason, so there's that. But I have, the 9 is whatever, but I have no problem with the 10.
Okay.
And I also have no problem with eliminating the neon sign thing, if that is something for an open sign. You are on Doyle Road, or across the street from a gas station, like you said, that has a million neon signs. And because we did it before, I don't think it should stand, but an open-close sign, neon, might help from the street. So I have no problem with eliminating that out of there, if so be, because precedent means whatever, we can do what we want. But I do have no problem with the 10 p.m., and I have no problem with taking the neon out too, if the board would like. Thank you.
Alternate Warnke?
She kind of answered my question. So the neon open close sign is part of the thing they're trying to do. See, that's crazy. That's all I have.
Alternate here?
I don't have any, well, you don't own the business in St. Mary's anymore? This will be
No.
your sole business?
Yes, yeah.
That's all.
I believe that takes care of all of our questions. Thank you so much for
you.
your time.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. Any other questions from any of the board members? Member Northey?
Of staff that I meant to ask. Because this is a conditional use and it's a lease agreement, what about, I mean, that is really the landscaping around there. We need to be lifting our city up. And so does landscaping come into any impact at this at all?
When I evaluated this, I looked at the fact that one suite is really where this conditional use is going, which is only 25% of the building. So I felt like, if they were going to occupy 2 or 3 suites and that would be the majority of the square footage being occupied by the conditional use, I would probably look at upgrading the site with some landscape.
Okay.
And through the chair, the property owner is here, so if you'd like to ask the property owner if they're willing to stipulate to improve landscaping as part of a condition, then you're more than welcome to.
Does the property owner want to step up and do they have anything they'd like to say? Please state your name and address for the record.
Raleigh Mall, address is, office address, Sorry.
Are you willing to do anything about the landscaping? It's pretty barren right now, and
Oh, yeah, it can be done. Wasn't budgeted for, but I'm sure we can figure out a budget, yes. Within the next 3-4 months, yes. Sooner if necessary. I mean, I don't know what you require. If you tell us what you require, we'll,
well, there is no landscaping plan with this conditional use, is that correct? Okay. I don't want to put that as a condition
No
of it.
landscaping plan was requested. So there's nothing to attach, but if, once again, as Zach said, if.
I'm just frustrated. It's time that we start looking at our city and upgrading old stuff, and that's an old building.
Member Northy, we can work with the property owner, and we would make them just meet the land development code for landscaping. So,
Okay.
At what point would you be able to do that?
so the applicant said that they can probably do something within the 3 to 4 months, so we can get in touch with the applicant and start working with them.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
yeah, we could do that by the end of the year for sure. It's not a problem. It just needs to be budgeted by the landlord.
Understand. Do I have a motion from the board? Oh, one more question. I'm sorry. Alternate Warnicki?
Just real quick, how late's the pizza place open?
We do not have, we can look that information up, I'm not sure.
So you're
believe
limiting
it's-
her hours, but the pizza, I'm just having an issue. I think it should be straight across the board.
I believe it's 10 o'clock.
Okay.
I believe, not verified.
Okay. No, it's called Chet. Christini's.
Does the applicant have a preference as to what time they'd like their operating hours to be? I know you asked for 9. Do you have an option or a desire for closing?
I like 9 or 10 o'clock if I can. I'm usually, I work a lot of hours, but I'm never there past 10 o'clock anyway. So I start early and sometimes I finish late, but more often than not, I'm done by 8 or 9 o'clock at night.
Okay, we just don't want to impose something that would create a hardship for you. So we want to make sure that if we're going to change the hours of operating, that you have an opportunity to voice what would be best for you.
Yeah, if I'm able to do from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., that would be fantastic. If not, I can do 9 to 9.
Understood. Thank you so much. Does anybody on the board have any questions for the property owner? No. Hearing none, I'm going to ask for a motion.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution eliminating the restriction on the neon sign.
And are altering the hours.
I would like to keep the hours till 10.
No, the start.
Oh, start, yeah, 9 a.m., sorry, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., my bad.
9 a.m.
Yes,
to 10
9 a.m. to 10 p.m.
I'll second that motion.
And would that also include the condition that landscaping at the premises shall meet the requirements of Section 110-808 landscape requirements?
Yes, please.
I believe the motion's been seconded. Staff, can you call the roll?
Can you please open it up to the public member?
Oh,
Chair?
Apologies.
Sorry.
Sorry. Thank you for the reminder. Does anybody from the public wish to speak on this matter?
Nothing's been turned in to us.
Okay, so I think we have a motion on the floor and it's been seconded. It's all right. You're fine. Did you want to speak on the motion that we're talking about, which is granting a minor conditional use for a tattoo shop at 1701 Doyle Road? I believe the appropriate, do they need to turn in a card? Or she can just,
They're in the
if you
back
want to
window.
approach the podium
She
and,
just do it after.
If you'd like to approach the podium and state your name and address for the record, please.
Hi,
Good evening.
how you doing?
Good. Can you state your name and your address for the record, please?
Hodges, Hodges, Linda. Address is 1690 Panama Court, Deltona, Florida, 32725. That's
Would you
the
like to,
address.
you have 4 minutes to talk about the application that we have before the board. Excuse me, 2 minutes.
Okay, I guess I am against it. Is that what it can do, right? Against it? Okay, my thing for against it is the fact of the building permit. I thought it was for pizza. One building, you separate it into two, in which you have you're using the alley half, in which it's there, that's separating alley and tattoo, whatever it is. But I always thought that when you wind up signing up for one building, you get the one building and not divide it within the two. Now you're trying to use the alleyway or whatever for a second half of a building. And then I thought the Florida Administration Code states that the tattoo cannot be located in an area where food is wind up being prepared, like eating, drinking, etc. half, except for first aid half. And smoking is prohibited within that area of tattoo. I guess maybe that's a health half code that's there. I really don't know. The second half, my establishment is against is that for privacy, it would be given access to people at all times of night, day and night, within that alley half in which you don't have that excess traffic going there. And I guess it has to have a different mailing address and where it comes with the parking and the traffic and the noise. And you theoretically, you're inviting people that did not originally that was there. So,
Okay, that's your time.
okay,
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Any discussion amongst the board members?
I'd like to get clarification on the food and the tattoo
Yeah,
parlor.
can we turn the presentation back on? Because I think if she sees a couple of the,
And the issue with the alleyway.
okay, so that's the building. It's, ma'am, it's 3,200 square feet, but there are 4 suites in it. And the one on the right-hand side right there is where the tattoo shop is going to go. And so it's not sharing an access, and it's not sharing anything with the other 3 suites that have separate businesses in them. And I think that the most important thing to understand is that when you're reading that off, I believe that's, you can't do that in the tattoo shop. Some of those things you can't do, but they have separate walls and they have separate entrances, so there won't be mingling of that in the business. And on the hours of operation, I believe the board has a motion on the table right now for limiting the hours from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. So it wouldn't be all hours of the night.
What's the alleyway concern? I didn't follow that.
There's an alley back there.
We have,
where
we have those in all our commercial areas.
Yeah. If, let's see, let's go back this way. So you can see it right there. It's alley, the alley is right, will my little pointer work? So here's the alley behind the business. This alley serves the karate karate school. There's a office building, and it serves this strip center as well. And I'm assuming that when this builds, it will serve this building as well. And the dumpster's back here, and there might be 1 car or 2 cars back here that might be employees. When I was there one time, there's just 1 vehicle back there. But in any event, there won't be any access to the public from this alley.
Okay.
Do you want to call her back up, or what do we?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Any other comments from the board? Any further discussion? I think we have a motion to approve the minor conditional use on the table. It's been seconded. So I'm going to ask staff to call the roll, please.
Member Gonzalez,
Vote yes, approving it.
Member Northey,
Yes.
Alternate Nair,
Yes.
Alternate Warnicki,
Yes.
Secretary Amoroso,
Yes.
and Chair Cardo.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you so much. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, staff comments.
Good evening. So the only comment staff has tonight is Mr. Trojanowski has resigned from the Planning and Zoning Board due to work reasons. That position will be advertised for 60 days, and then the applications will be provided to the City Commission for new appointment. And we just want to thank him for his service on the Planning and Zoning Board. That is all staff comments. Thank you.
Thank you. Board committee member comments, or if there are any? Yes, Member Northey.
I have several. I would like to direct them to staff for some information. Senate Bill 180 and the Live Local Act have both passed in separate times. And I'm wondering if it would be possible for this board to get a presentation or something, a workshop on what this all means to the board activity. It seems to me that we are limited now in what we are able to do. I don't know if that's true or not. So I think we probably could use an oversight explanation of what those two bills mean to us.
Yes, Ms. Northey. So just briefly, Senate Bill 180 is a piece of legislation that passed in the recent Florida State legislative session, which deals with emergencies. There are many provisions related specifically to recovery after emergencies, requirements of local governments related to permitting, what specifically impacts the Planning and Zoning Board, and the items that may come before you all is related to essentially preemption that limits the ability of local governments to establish more restrictive or burdensome regulations following a hurricane. And in fact, the bill does provide for retroactive application to August 1st, 2024 for communities impacted by Hurricane Milton. Most recently would be most relevant to Deltona. So we can provide additional detail at an upcoming meeting, but that's the brief summary for the board.
It just feels like there isn't really. I'm trying to understand what our role is now that the home rule has been gutted, essentially. So it's like, well, we're an agency, as I understood it, of the state. We require a requirement of the state for the local government. And while they don't have to pay a darn bit of attention to us, the fact that we are meeting and presenting rulings on stuff forward, and they can't do anything either. So I'm just trying to understand if there's still a role for the board. That's all.
Understood.
So, also, Jordan, if we could get some guidance on meeting the requirements of the educational hours that we're supposed to put in, what constitutes that? I think I sent you an email saying that I had been to a League of Women Voters and we had a water discussion by the city. They were at that oversight over at that committee meeting, and don't know whether that would qualify for hours or not.
Staff will send out some information to the whole board
Okay.
with what the requirements are and what qualifies.
Okay, thank you. And then We just recently, I don't know if anybody else did, I just received an email regarding financial disclosure. When is that due?
That was due July 1st, but then there's also,
I just got the email.
So we can work with the city clerk, who is the office that sets up those accounts for you all. So the filing disclosure for the state on the Form 1, which is what you all is
Right.
within 30 days of appointment, and then annually by July 1st of each year, which runs
Did we get
retroactively.
did I miss a email from the staff saying that this was due?
it would have come from the state.
Well, I just got something from the state, like yesterday or 2 days ago.
Okay. We'll coordinate with the clerk's office to inquire further.
But that would affect all of us, correct? We're all required to fill out that Form 1.
Yes, you are, yes.
I got the email and also filled the form out prior to the deadline, so I'm not sure why Member Northey didn't get
I
it
did not
in
get
a
anything
timely
until
manner, but
just,
is there anybody
today.
else on the board that needs help with that?
yeah, I mean, it's like crazy.
We-
Yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, it almost looks
Yeah,
like
Form 1,
spam.
it needs to be filled out annually with a deadline of the 1st.
Didn't they get appointed like after? Like how did that work?
That's possible.
Yeah, because when they got appointed.
It's within 30 days of appointment and then,
I did that.
and then annually thereafter. So maybe staff can assist.
Yeah, certainly we'll work with staff and with any members that need assistance. And there's also a grace period before any sort of fines, et cetera, would accrue, so. you'll
I
have
would
time.
just thought that staff or the clerk's office would have sent a reminder to us that we need to do this.
The reminders come from the state.
And I did not get a reminder timely from the state. So, okay.
Staff really knows, you know, because it's personal information.
It's definitely driven from the state.
It comes from the state, and, I mean, when I first got on, the staff did tell me, like, there were certain things I would have to
Exactly.
do that would come from the state, but they don't remind me about it. Like, ethics, I had lots of questions, and Jessica helped a lot. But, with this thing, I mean, it just was an email that I filled out, and I don't know how you got, I mean, I think you would know, but from the appointment date, all our appointment dates are different, so 30 days from. I mean, maybe a reminder, June 1st, hey, guys, you got to fill out your Form 1 before
That would have been
July
nice,
3rd.
yes.
That
exactly.
So going forward, staff can definitely do that for the
Thank you.
Annual submissions. And then staff can also get on the website and check to see if people have filed as well and send out a reminder.
Thank
So
you.
staff will follow up with that.
Thank you.
And then I have a question on handicapped accessibility. And Jordan, you and I talked about what makes an old building required to update their handicapped accessibility. And if I understood you correct, it was there had to be a new use. Is that correct? Or an internal change to the building?
There would have to be external change to the site.
External,
Yes.
not internal. So the fact the Save-A-Lot is no longer going to be a Save-A-Lot, but it's part of that a small area that has business in it, restaurants, 2 restaurants. There's I think not a video store. There's a tattoo parlor there. There's a Cucky Rooster. There is the bar. Then there is a Chinese takeout. So those have evolved over the years. They've changed. This building was built a long time ago under county regulations, and now the Save-A-Lot has closed. And
So unless they're coming in for site plan modifications, we would not see it.
Okay, and so handicapped accessibility does not become an issue when things change.
We would definitely look at the use, but it's still the same use. It's a similar use going in.
And just to put a finer point on it, there are concurrent processes that kind of run different tracks, right? There's a planning review which deals with site plan and accessibility in that context. There's also a building review that requires, if there are internal permits, that may trigger ADA compliance. So there's
What would
two
trigger it? That's really what I'm trying to get to, because what is happening down there is a person fell and injured themselves very badly because there is no ramp, no handicap ramp. And I know it's an old building, but it seems to me at some point that the internal use of that building has changed. Maybe not the outside, but the internal use has changed. And Save-A-Lot is changing now too. There should be some mechanism that triggers that says, okay, you now have to be impacted by handicap accessibility legislation.
So for external improvements is where you would see a trigger for external accessibility. For internal improvements, you would see triggers for internal accessibility. That's of course improvements that require permitting. A remove and replace that doesn't necessarily require a permit would not trigger a city review.
So if somebody opened up a wall and put a doorway in internally, that doesn't affect anything on the outside, is what I hear you saying.
I'm going to give the classic attorney answer. It depends, which is in saying if it is only an internal improvement, there's no other change of use or other, as far as intensity that would require
More
or
parking.
trigger a parking or planning review, then yes, that does not trigger. But so that's why it depends. It's really a fact specific.
Okay.
I'd like to ask staff to, and we may need to do a motion because we did this once before. So there are plenty of jurisdictions in Broward County and Miami-Dade County that have a threshold trigger for site upgrades and improvements. So whenever you do a change of use, they require 20% of the cost of construction to be earmarked towards ADA upgrades and requirements. And the 20% is based on the appraised value from the property appraiser's value of the building only. It does not incorporate the site. So the cost of construction dollar amount, 20% of that would have to be carved out and earmarked for ADA upgrades, not only internally, but externally as well, so for the site as well. So when the staff is looking at code, I know you guys are going through some code rewrites. It might be helpful to look and see if the city of Deltona, with our population and with some of the construction that or the existing conditions that we have in the city, the potential for ADA upgrades might be required. And if we were to look at a possible code amendment that would allow for the city to impose ADA upgrades when change of use is happening with either tenant build-outs or I guess not so much new construction, but tenant build-outs into existing uses where there could potentially be a change of use. We rewrite the code to address that situation. So I'm not sure, do we need to make a motion as a board for the staff to look at that area of the code when they're doing their rewrites?
Yes, it would require a motion, and it's procedurally a motion to request the commission to direct staff.
Okay.
But
Yes.
yes, you would require a motion.
Secretary Amoroso?
So I understand that somebody wasn't ADA compliant and somebody fell, and now we're looking at this stuff, because Deltona's kind of old, a lot of our buildings are old. Wouldn't that be the responsibility of the commercial business? Like if I was in a wheelchair and I fell at Save-A-Lot, isn't Save-A-Lot going to come up to code to be handicapped, to not get sued again? Because they're going to lose it. Like,
Only if they get sued.
well, they're
They're not going to be forced to upgrade their property unless someone takes them to court over it.
would this, I'm being a little selfish here, but would this apply to residential properties that, condominiums that are not covered by ADA? Okay.
Oh, maybe. Because
a condo-
condominiums, the exterior is owned by an association.
No,
so
but
that's-
the association is not covered by the ADA, only the FHA. So we do not have to be handicap accessible because we are not open to the public. So like our pools are not open to the public, our office is not open to the public. So it's only the FHA, which is a big confusion. But I know when I did maintenance for a local convenience store, even though we didn't have to, we made everything ADA compliant, the bathroom, the doors, the ramps, all that stuff to be ADA compliant. So I understand what you're saying, but forcing some of these businesses to spend 20% of their budget on becoming ADA compliant, I don't know if that's really a thing, but it's up to the board.
Have you been by some of the old places? I mean, this one, it has a handicap stall, but there is no ramp to go up or down to get in, and what is the sidewalk is on an angle, and that
I just think that commercial use in Delta, like, is hard enough to put more and more, like, it's hard enough to get commercial businesses in here, and I've heard it more than once from people who are trying to come in here for commercial. And yes, you should, if you're a business, you should want to be ADA compliant. You should want the door to swing the right way. You should want the 3-foot clearance, all that stuff.
I wish you would sue them is what I wish would happen. That would force the issue, but she's not going to sue.
No, I just think that I've heard from a few people who wanted to come in here commercially that it was too many hoops, and I think that's just another, not that stuff shouldn't be handicap accessible, but
Exactly.
I don't know about making stuff harder. That's just my opinion. That's all.
All right, would anybody on the board like to make a motion? Member Northey?
I would like to make the motion that we consider, I don't know whether 20% is the right number, but that we consider how we reevaluate Zach Helming.
So this would be a motion to request the city commission to direct staff to evaluate the city's code as it relates to ADA accessibility and a mandate for compliance when a certain threshold of renovation is met.
That sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Exactly what he said. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Are we doing a roll call vote, or is it, all those in favor say aye?
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes.
Thank you all.
And that concludes our agenda for this evening. So a motion to adjourn.
So motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion to adjourn.
And it's been seconded, and we are adjourned.